craziest thing a patient has ever done in front of me?
Oh. Okay, so I want to tell you the story about a patient of mine. One of the wildest things I've ever seen a patient do. So, my name is, like I said, my name is April, and I have been a nurse for 23 years, specializing in geriatric nursing and long-term care, which basically means the nursing home. I've been a night nurse for the majority of that time, but I've worked all shifts, and I've done all manners of things, CNA work, you name it, I have done it. I love it, but I'm very burned out on it. Okay, so a few years ago, I had this patient, and for the most part, he was a nice man. He was a veteran. He had some PTSD. He was old, had a lot of body pain issues, had a lot of, psych issues, was depressed. He was the last living person in his family. One night, he had had enough. He was on one when I came in for my shift at 10, and he just kept on, and eventually he started going down the hallway in his wheelchair, and he was yanking pictures off the wall, and he was breaking them and trying to get the glass so he could harm himself because he was ready to hit that self-checkout line. So me, of course, I'm following him down the hallway, trying to wrestle glass out of this poor man's hand, cutting myself. He's getting cut. We're bleeding everywhere. My amazing CNAs were running, trying to, get down the hall ahead of us and take the pictures off the wall and close doors because, this guy was, this man was on a mission. So my partner called 911, of course, and the police showed up, and I told him, I was like, the police are coming. And he was so respectful of law enforcement, and that he just immediately calmed down. So he was agitated with me because I was taking glass away from him. And so, my partner nurse, she came over and she was like, oh, let me just clean a little bit of that blood off your hands. You got a little on your face. So that bought me a little bit of time to go wash my own hands, slap a couple of Band-Aids on there, and then, meet the police at the door and kind of give them the rundown of what's going on. So I tell them what's going on, and I'm like, you guys, I need you to lay down the law. Like, that's what you're here for. You're the law. Please, help me. I feel like he'll be okay if you guys tell him. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. I didn't want to send him out because I wanted to watch him myself because I was so afraid that would be the night that he would, get the job done. So my nurse partner brings him to the front, to the lobby so he can talk privately with the officers that were there. And he, no sooner than he got around the corner than one of the police officers walks up to him all, acting all buddy and says, what's going on? Hey man, are you giving these girls a hard time tonight? Mistake number one. He was like, well, I don't mean to. And then he started telling them, about all these reasons why he just was ready for things to be over. And, there's one officer that he's straight-laced, and he's like, sir, we can't do that. And if you're going to harm yourself, we're going to have to take you somewhere safe. And not only are you harming yourself, but, you're one nurse, she's got blood dripping off her hands. The other nurse, she looks frazzled. I can see the CNAs running around all over the building. What are we going to do? And the other officer, Mr. Friendly, was like, he'll be all right, won't you, buddy? And then he steps over and he puts his arm kind of on his shoulder and goes to pat him. But when he does that, my patient went for his holster. I told them, put your foot down, lay the law down. And what did one of them do? Went over there and tried to act all friendly and almost turned my nursing home lobby into the freaking OK Corral. Yeah. Anyway, he did end up going out that night because that was too much. But anyway, it ended up, he was fine. They straightened out his meds. It wasn't too very long before he got his wish, but he passed peacefully in his sleep, and I was there at his bedside with him, and he did not go alone. Thank you for listening to my story.